Hey y'all, Kimmy here. I got bored because I don't have a cat or a boyfriend or a life or strength in my body because I hurt. So I looked up what are the most unhinged things people ever did on Reddit, and I have decided to share my findings with you all lovely people because it's interesting, and one of them made me cackle out loud like a witch, so let's go. So the first story is from Gracie's mom going on 83. I'm a pretty boring person, but when I was looking for a college, I couldn't find one I liked. So I took the college guidebook my mom got for me, it was $19.99, closed my eyes, opened it to a random page, stuck my finger on a school, and went there. That is some crazy ballsy shit to do, I'm just saying. For a boring person, it's kind of cool. One of the comments said, "Did you like it?" Someone else also asked, "Where did you go and did you enjoy it?" To which the original poster responded, "Truman State University," and I did actually ended up going with my best friend from middle school. We decided on the same school independently. I believe her decision was thought out. Another commenter, Eat, Teach, Sleep, said, "I also went to Truman. Such a great small school. You could never skip class because all your professors actually knew your name and face." Now that sounds sweet and nice, but nowadays I feel like most people would prefer the opposite. Now, this is the story that inspired me to make this video in the first place. PewDiePie Pants said, in response to the most unhinged things you've ever done, "I was under a lot of stress at the time, and my dog's health was in bad shape, and I had just shelled out $3,000 for a failed surgery that resulted in him spending a night in the ICU. I'm walking my bike up a hill, and some 20-something-year-old spits on me. I'm shocked. He chuckles and says, 'Do something about it.' So I grab my bike lock and smack him over the head with it. He instantly changes from tough guy to running for his life as I hop on my bike and chase after him. He is now screaming for anyone to help him. I get close enough that I can kick him while riding. He stumbles. I get off my bike, throw it at him along with a few punches. He gets up and continues to run, so I grab my bike and continue to chase him. At this point, I've done enough damage and I'm only trying to scare him, so I follow him for another 2 minutes while he continues to run and scream." This story cracked me up at first. The comment, "You did what he asked you to do." Yep, he requested it. Absolutely justified. This is a sitcom horror musical in the making. You did good. No, I do not condone violence, but man, is this meaningful wish fulfillment. This one made me chuckle and reminded me of my ex, but the dude Abides said, "Ran drunk halfway through the Liberty Tunnel in Pittsburgh on Halloween, then had a pendant worker pick me up in his truck yelling the police were coming, and he dropped me at a McDonald's up the road. I was also dressed as one of the Blues Brothers and lost half that outfit in the tunnel." My guy, how drunk were you? I mean, it sounds like an interesting night. I'm glad you got away. Trigger warning for the next story. It's a little graphic, so if you don't want to get into it, just skip. I'll put a timestamp on the screen here so you don't have to listen to the ones that bother you. Mala It Love said, "I chased a guy across a golf course and beat him to a bloody pulp after he showed some people a video of him having sex with my sister. He tried to tell everyone it was consensual, but the video showed my sister was unconscious during the whole thing, completely drugged out of her mind. A friend of a friend saw it, and that's how I found out. I asked my sister if she had any knowledge of this happening, and she just broke down crying. She said she'd woken up at her place the next day and knew something bad had happened, but was afraid to tell anyone for fear of being shamed." Ugh, that's just way too common, and I hate that so much for you. I'm so sorry. "I'm not really a violent person, but I have a soft spot for my siblings. Before this, I could count on one hand the number of fights I've been in, and I didn't win any of them. By all accounts, the guy should have beaten the shit out of me. I had this ungodly rage come over me and went after him. My brother and best friend that were there said I looked like a totally different person. People had suspected for some months that someone who frequented that bar was drugging people's drinks. My sister just happened to be the unlucky victim. The bright side was that his DNA matched 2 other rapes and he got convicted." That weird vintage girl commented, "You are a good sibling. I'm glad that sick F got put away, and I hope your sister and the other victims have been able to heal a bit. I can't imagine what that must have been like." Not a biggin said, "Why did you let him live?" I couldn't agree more, and I just want to point out that this is the story that is the reason that I made the video, not the one that made me laugh out loud like a witch. That was a different one, but it is the one that stuck out with me the most. And there are not enough people like this in the world, and not many people are willing to tell I am a lot more like that girl, and most girls you know are a lot more like that girl, because we know if you speak out in this current patriarchal society, you will only be shamed and talked about and doubted, and it's not cool. It's not worth it. So believe the women in your life, people. Believe them. Moving on. My body is like disabled right now, but this does bring me some comfort. Know that I can do anything. I know it doesn't seem productive, maybe to you, but to me this is something I can do and feel connected with other humans, my fellow human beings. So yeah, I'm not alone because I have you. A deleted Reddit account said, "Not me, but in 8th grade, I was at wrestling practice and there was one girl on the team and this idiot in my weight class smacked her ass, and when she turned around, he kissed her on the cheek and she punched him so hard in the ribs he was out of practice for a few days." Oh my god, that is epic though. Must Be the Dragon commented, "My ex coached high school wrestling for a few years. One of the toughest wrestlers I ever saw was a 102-pound girl. She was meaner than a snake and could barely be beat. She won state at least 1 year." That's awesome. Hey man, you either learn to respect women or girls, or you learn the hard way in life, and too many girls haven't learned this lesson until it's too late, or they aren't physically strong enough, but some of us have been lucky. I myself was in the women's weightlifting class. I was in champs with the whole football team of the school due to an era when they didn't have women's weightlifting at the school I transferred to. Anyway, people have tried, many have tried, and I will not say if they've succeeded or failed, but I have fought. Oh my god, people are crazy. I love it though. I love it. You know you love it too. When I was in 5th grade, my class played a game where you wore a certain cap and you'd have to act as a certain type of student, i.e. model student, bully, etc. This was to teach us a bit about acting the right way in school, but it also taught us about acting in general. When it was my turn, I took things a bit too literal. I got the bully hat, I walked out of the classroom, walked back in, slammed the door behind me so hard that the entire class audibly gasped in shock, and finally slapped one of my classmates in the face for dramatic effect. The entire class died of laughter, including the teacher. She eventually told me to start over, try to behave a bit less animated and less intense next time. Teachers these days can't see talent for theater even if it slaps them in the face. No pun intended. 5th grade, huh? Boy, aren't we the dramatic one. A person after my own heart. Moving forward, a deleted Reddit account said, "The week before spring break my junior year, my bully took off to enjoy 2 weeks in Europe as part of a school club trip. He bragged about this for months ahead of time. I had spent about 3 weeks watching him dial into his locker and memorized his locker combo. The Monday before spring break, he wasn't there, obviously, as he was on a plane to Germany. I got to school early, opened his locker, and emptied a few brown bags of dog do all over his stuff. I smashed his textbooks into it, smeared it all over every crevice of his locker. Then I began a nice 2-week wait. During that week in school, the hallway slowly started stinking more and more of poo. The anticipation left me freaking giddy. The Monday after spring break, I got in a little early and watched him open his locker and stand there with his mouth open, looking at all his stuff covered in very smelly poo. He just stared at it, unable to decide what to do, and kind of had tears brimming in his eyes. Then he broke out in a tantrum, started throwing all the stuff out of his locker, sobbing that someone was an absolute a-hole, blah, blah, blah. He bullied many people, so there were lots of potential poo placers. I was questioned, but no one believed little old nerdy farm girl me could possibly do that. He got a new locker and was still a bully, but everyone made fun of him for it, and he graduated and fucked off to who knows where. Hey Todd, does your Letterman jacket still stink?" Shit, it's so petty, but I'm sorry, when she said that this person bullied them and like half the school, I had a feeling this person more than deserved what happened to them, so I don't feel bad for him at all. The comment, "What type of poo?" She said dog. Anywho, carrying on. When I was in 10th grade, my little brother was a cheerleader in the 7th grade. When we were getting off the bus one day, my little brother was walking in front of me down the aisle. Someone his age yelled, "Agate," at him as we walked by. I put the kid's head up against the bus window and said, "Call him that again, and I'll put your head through the window." I never saw that kid talk to me or my little brother again. Good for you, Play Crack the Sky. You are a good sibling. I'm proud of you. The world is proud of you. We ain't having none of that kind of homophobic hater stuff, especially on your little brother. No, thank you. And good on him for being a cheerleader. That's awesome. Look at that. The energy of sharing stories with my new viewers, has made this disabled old woman get up from her bedridden state temporarily, because I do have 4 appointments coming up within the next couple of weeks, including on Christmas Eve, so fingers crossed they can help me so I can get back to like work. But until the meanwhile of that, I'll work this way. So moving forward, thank you so much for joining me, by the way. Comment any thoughts or opinions, suggestions, the weather, and if you can't think of anything better, just give me a little blue butterfly emoji. It would make my day. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Sincerely. Marching on, a deleted Reddit account said, I was having a bad day. It was really hot. The ATM wasn't working. I was walking home when some guy honked and whistled at me. Ugh, I hate when that happens. Then, a moment later, another guy honked at me. Then a third one. The third guy pulled into a gas station across the street, and I just started power walking towards him, cross traffic without even looking, and cursed him out for harassing me. He was really taken aback and somewhat apologetic. It felt really good to let him know how much this behavior fucking sucks. You know what? You go, girl, because for real, one time I was making deliveries and unbeknownst to me, it was going to be extra windy that night. I live just north of the Windy City, Chicago. So it was super windy. Wind blew my skirt up. Long story short, I was very upset when a pickup truck full of guys sped by and honked and catcalled and shouted out their window all sorts of lewd things at me because they got a shot of my ass, I guess, because the wind had blown my skirt up and it was like literally impossible. I was literally trying to hold my skirt down. But anyway, good on this girl from the deleted account for standing up for herself. More of us should be like that. We really need to be more vocal and stop being so people-pleasy and scared and timid and meek all the time. It does nothing for your life, girls. Hear me loud and clear when I say this. Speak up. Continuing. My brother locked me out of the house. There were windows next to the front door. He was taunting me and had his face pressed up against one of the small panes. I just hauled off and punched my fist through the glass into his face. I was 7 and he was 9. That's not bad at all, Princess Pindy. Oh, Princess, you go, girl, queen, yes. Anonymous Linda Town said, how'd your parents react to that? Witnessing or even just hearing the explanation must have been wild. And Princess Pindy responded, I told them the truth. They were not surprised. He was a terror. I had just had enough of his shit that day. Oh my god, yes, you guys are rejuvenating my soul. Thank you. Arranged the letters of a church sign that read, happiness is a choice to a penis is a choice. This next one really is heart-wrenching for me. So Friendly Coconut said, I started hearing what sounded like a walkie-talkie or radio in the woods behind my house at night. I lived with my parents and my bedroom window was stuck partially open with my room facing the woods. The woods had train tracks running through them and a shopping center on the other side. I was scared people were camped out in the woods and with possibly criminal intent. I lay awake panicking for days and sometimes even woke up my mom because I was scared. It turned out that an unusually rainy summer caused a typically dry creek bed in the woods to flood, and frogs from a nearby lake moved in. I wasn't hearing walkie-talkies, I was hearing the call of green frogs. I did not go on to develop any form of psychosis, but I did turn out to have an anxiety disorder. That is so tragic, and I am so sorry, Friendly Coconut. I hope you've gotten therapy and are doing much better, and thankfully now have moved far away from any of those damn frogs in that stuck open window at your parents' house. Moving forward. We're nearing the end of the video now, so thank you for sticking it out with me if you have till this point. This is my first official video of this type in long form content, and I'm really looking forward to making more of them, so if you have any comments or suggestions, please post them below. and give me a subscribe. Now let's get on with finishing up these last couple comments here. You unhinged, lovely, petty, wonderful people. I don't feel so crazy anymore, so thank you. Before my husband quit drinking liquor, he was a mean drunk. He would say all kinds of mean stuff. Never put his hands on me, but he always said stuff that really cut deep. One day he came home from golfing with his friends, drunk. Somehow, I ended up sitting in the passenger seat of his Jeep while we had a terrible argument. I got so pissed that I hauled back and punched the ever-loving shit out of his windshield. I broke it. The whole thing had to be replaced, and he quit drinking liquor. So, unhinged? Yes. Did it work out in my favor? Also, yes. Oh my god. I'm sorry. Okay, alright. Compose yourself, Kimmy. There are people listening to you now. Okay, alright, moving forward. I can't even comment other than to say, Kirsten 711, you are a boss. Ooh, yeah, said. I had some plumbing problems in my basement, and the door that goes into the water heater room swelled up, and we couldn't open it to shut off the water. We took the hinges off the door and used our shoulders as battering rams to smash it open. Now, the unhinged part. My plan is to replace the door with the Western saloon style ones to give my basement a nice strip club vibe. And me no said, okay, but that will require hinges. Literally, this has to be the most unhinged comment. You go. I actually like the saloon style doors, to be honest. Well, that sure got the creative juices flowing and the spirit feeling again, and my back still hurts, but I feel a little bit better. So I'm gonna go do something productive with my feeble little lady body. And I'll catch you guys later. Subscribe!